Okay, we're back. We got her bust out. I have to admit, it's in pretty good shape. Pretty slick. Pretty good deal. Is it perfect? No, because perfection is not. When you do it like I do, I can get them pretty good. Of course, there's nothing perfect on this rock anyway. So, but this is pretty good. It's good. It's clean. It's got a good shine to it. And no runs, no drips, no arrows. So I think it's a pretty good deal. All right, now we're gonna go over here, and I forgot we're gonna talk about paint. What I use and what my processes are. Okay. Yeah, look at the mess. This is a paint shop. All right, here's the paint. It's the color code, the formula, and Omni base coat, clear coat. I'm not a paid sponsor from any of these products, so whatever you see on here, I buy it myself. I pay taxes on it. Nobody gives me anything. So once you get it stripped to the metal, I come back with MP 171 Omni epoxy primer. You can get it in white, dark gray, light gray. I get it in whatever color is going to be on the top surface, whatever I'm on top coat it with. There's the epoxy primer 175 hardener. It mixes, the formula on it is, mixing formula is 2-to-1, 2 parts 171, 1 part 175. You do not work the epoxy primer. Once it's on there, you got 48 hours to top coat it. And what I top coat them with, depending on the product or depending on the surface, I made a mess with that, but this is one that I found that's compatible with the epoxy primer, is this Viatec Tech 200. It's a urethane primer surfacer. It's a 2K, 2-part. And there's the hardener or activator for it. 34202 Viatec. Mixing ratio is 4-to-1. Yep, 4 parts. So I had to kind of make a mess with this one. 4 parts of the 200, 1 part of the 202. And if you've got a real rough surface metal and it has a lot of issues with it, this is the Evercoat Slick Sand. It's a polyester primer filler. You can shoot this. Majority of the jobs I do, I put this on top of the MP 171 epoxy primer. And this is like shooting concrete in a can because it is thick. And that's the gun I use to put it on there, because the HVLP guns do not like this stuff. They don't want to spray it, and if they do spray it, it's a freaking mess. And I've had HVLP guns with 2.0 tips, 2.0 needles, and they do not like it. So I use just a conventional siphon feed gun. Bought it at Harbor Freight. It's got a 1.8 tip and fluid nozzle on it, so that's what I use. As far as the base coat and clear coat, once again, HVLP from Harbor Freight. That's their Black Widow It has, what is that? It has a 1.7 fluid tip and nozzle. So that's pretty much it. And like I said, all my paint is either Omni or PPG, depending on the color and how well it matches. And the clear I use is MC 2800 Speed Clear. I like this, really like this stuff. It's 5 liters to a can, so it's a little more than the a gallon. Lost my train of thought. This is the MH 2880 hardener that goes with the clear, and that's a medium temp. And here is a high temp or a slower hardener that goes with the clear. So that's pretty much all the products I use. And this Biotech urethane reducer, it mixes well with the PPG, the Omni, everything. So that's pretty much. Oh, forgot one thing. If you want to use a sealer, sorry for the noise, but if you want to use a very good sealer, this MP 235, it mixes 4 to 1, and it mixes with the MH 283 hardener. And there's the mixing ratio. 4 parts 235, 1 part 283, and then 1 part of your Biotech reducer, that 3670, there it is, 36670. And that is a very good sealer. It's a workable sealer. So if you spray it on and you find a alibi or a problem, let it sit for an hour. You can come back, scuff it off, shoot another little bit over the top of it, and have at it again. So that's pretty much what I use. And I've got some of this, which they discontinued, which was, it's a polyester filler primer surfacer, and that little bottle on top, that's what you get for it to mix. And it's kind of a chemical, you got to figure out all the ins and outs of it. But that's pretty much what I use. Everything else is, that's it. The hood on a 73 Dodge Challenger, lemon twist yellow. Right side, first time buffed. Left side hadn't been touched. So, that's what I use to paint with and all that. And I've been using it for years and years. I've used, hat's crooked. I've used PPG products probably 20 years. I like them. I don't mix them except, whatever the MSD sheet says you can mix with, that's what I mix them with. And this is just my system, and like I said, you figure out what you want, how you want to achieve it, and you can do it. This is not real complicated. You just got to pay attention to details and work with the surroundings that you've got. There's a little bit better picture of the hood, and that's the car it goes on in the background, 73 Challenger. And maybe, hopefully this week I'll get that thing painted and we'll be back. And here's a 66 Ford truck next on the line, or next on my list. And there's a hood for it. I got a 63 330 Dodge and a 69 Barracuda. Those are mine. They're way down the line, so we don't have to worry about them. Not for a long, long time. Hope I live long enough to get them fixed. But this is the Challenger. Of course, you can't see much because I got her wrapped up. Oh, this is my favorite car of all time. I built one back in the 70s, and I had a shop up in Memphis. I loved that car. It wasn't a rocket ship, but it drove and handled great. It was a lot of fun. I built it for an individual that had that one, and oh gosh, he had several other cars that I built for him. But it's not a muscle car like muscle cars, but that is the cat's meow as far as something to drive. That would be it. Anyway, well, now we'll get to the next project, which this is my cluttered up shop. 55 Chevrolet, put quarters, fabricated wheel housings, and it had hail damage, so instead of replacing a bunch of panels, the customer said, you know, thin coat. It's not piled on by any means. It's a thin coat filler. I'll get around to showing you something there. And this eyebrow panel was rotted out. So the eyebrow comes in about here. I put that on. And this, you can see it's not a heavy coat. But this surface here, this is another Evercoat short strand fiberglass. It mixes up like Bondo or filler, and I put it on as a filler, and that stuff works real good. And let me get around here. Yeah, it's cluttered because I work here. It's a one-man show here. So, yeah, this is the premium filler I use. There again, 3M product. Here's the icing. That's a polyester filler. I use it for small details. It's not Bondo. It's not a major filler. It's for little bitty details, little bitty imperfections. And where's my gallon of short strand runoff to? Well, oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. That's the short strand Evercoat. I like that stuff. And on this side of the 55, you can see it's just a light coat over the whole car to get it smooth. We put quarters, rear body panel. Like I said, the inner fenders on the rear were rotted out. Customer didn't want to put them on, so I fabricated the wheel housing out of metal and made them work. Came out pretty good. I'm impressed. But the roof, the deck lid had hail damage, and actually there was a bullet hole in the deck lid. So I don't know what this thing came from, but there it was. And now we move on to some motorcycle stuff. Got some fenders, been painted several times. Now they're gonna get painted one more time, so I'm gonna get all that mess off and go from there. It's VTX 1800 Honda. There's the tank, rear front fender, side covers, and the rear fender. And then here's the doors. Here's the tailgate on the 66. I've already got it worked. Got it down. And that's that polyester filler that's you spray on. It's like concrete in a can. And that stuff is thick. And it'll fill in a lot of imperfections. Of course, I'm gonna leave all these factory plug welds or spot welds, but the tailgate was pretty clean. It didn't have anything major, just surface rust and a lot of dents and dings on the top and the bottom, which it was a pickup truck, so it was used, not abused, just used on the farm. And they want to restore it and let it take a break from its farm life. So anyway, but like I said, this is a one-man show, and here's some of my projects sitting outside. 75 Ranchero, 65 Plymouth Valiant, 76 Ford truck, 77 one-ton Chevrolet, and another Valiant. And way back in there, the black is a 1933 Cadillac four-door sedan that I think I'm gonna marry up the running gear out of that one-ton under that Cadillac, because they're about the same wheelbase. And the one-ton rear end will be gone, which I'll use probably the rear end out of that 76 Ford. If it measures out correctly, I'd like to run a 9-inch Ford. That way I can change the rear end out, the gear ratio, pretty easily. This 75 Ranchero, it's a GT. No interior, no door glasses, windshield, back glass are there. It's not a bad old car. I got it running, and then I just hadn't had time to fool with it again. So anyway, that's a look at what I got going on, and you know, that's pretty much it for now. But I will keep you informed, and like I said, you'll hear a lot of military terminology here, because I spent 27 years in the Army as a medic, so this is my therapy. Anyway, so we'll get back with you here pretty soon, so we have something good to show you. Bye.